Hi guys, in today's video I thought I would introduce you guys to Finley and give you guys a little bit of an update on what's actually going on with the guinea pigs, because a lot is kind of going on at the moment with them. And yeah, so kind of first off with everything that's going on with my other pigs. So we ended up getting a young female because one of my girls was getting quite heavily picked on and she wouldn't eat with the group and it was just not working. I tried her with all three of my groups and it just wasn't working. My initial plan was to try her with a baby. That worked, but then she then started ignoring the baby and I was like, okay, I'm going to try and bond them in with Fergus's group, back in with Fergus's group, and see if having a baby brings the girls together. And it did work, and now that's worked, so that herd is really settled. And then week after I brought the baby home, I noticed Fergus's breathing was getting really rapid. It started whenever he would run around, so I kept him in more. And then I took him to the vet because it just wasn't getting better and his eyes were a bit off, and I thought initially thought he had an upper respiratory infection, and went to the vet, and the vet was quite concerned. The vet was like, first off I saw the nurse because originally that vet had no appointments, and she's a really popular exotic specialist. She's recommended on the guinea pig forum, really good vet if you're in Liverpool or around Merseyside. And she's actually castrated all my guinea pigs, she's done surgeries on my guinea pigs, really good vet. And took him in, and the nurse was like, it sounds like he has a heart condition, we can't confirm this without obviously an x-ray or an ultrasound, whatever they did. And they did an x-ray and they did an ultrasound, and it turns out his heart is too big and he is in heart failure. So that means Fergus has got between 3 and 18 months left to live, and that has hit me harder than what I thought, because Fergus is probably one of the favourites for everybody. Like, Fergus is an absolutely lovely guinea pig. He's probably the nicest pig we've got, and to lose him is probably going to be quite hard. And then I remember speaking to the nurse. I was like, okay, I need to start making plans. When he said potentially 3 months, and Fergus is deteriorating. He's not bad, he's comfortable, but he's just struggling a bit in terms of certain situations. So he is on medication, he'll be on medication for the rest of his life, and it's now just about keeping him comfortable. And Fergus's girls, so my initial plan with the pigs was I never planned on getting another male. It was never within my plans at all, to be honest. But Fergus's girls have never lived without a male, and in my opinion they would struggle. Tosie's a very dominant female. She does need a male to kind of keep the peace, because she will over dominate the other girls. So yeah, I was left in a situation where I was stuck. And Albert's group, for some weird reason, they've just settled. If they hadn't have just settled, I would have eventually bonded them in with that group, but I want to give them more time to settle as a herd. And also all of my males are older than my females, so eventually I would have to go out and get another knitted boar anyway. And also Archie and Tosie cannot stand each other. They fight quite a lot. When Albert and Archie were when Albert and Archie were castrated, my initial plan was to put Archie with, potentially I did try Archie with Tosie and it didn't work, so that's why Archie's got his girls. But yeah, so that didn't work. So then somebody who I know who works at a pet home, not local to me, it's a bit of a distance, like it's not far but it's not close, they let me know about this little boy, and I'd known about him for a couple of weeks actually. I thought he was cute, but it's a very similar situation to Fergus. So this is Mr. Finley, and they told me he was a teddy. I believe he's got a little bit of Swiss in him. I think he's a teddy with a Swiss, to be honest, because he's got the curly whiskers of a teddy, the kind of wiry hair of a teddy, but he's got longer hair than a teddy, which is making me think he's a little Swiss. So so then I actually rang the pet home up and asked about him. It was not a case of, oh, I'm definitely going to get him, but it was a case of, I want to inquire about this little boy. And when they told me, it kind of reminded me of the situation with Fergus, but yeah. So he was originally obviously got into the store from their baby section, from their breeders, which turns out to be rodent mills, like a huge situation with that, which is disgraceful with chain pet stores, but that's another conversation. And yeah, so he was came in with their litters, and he didn't like the males he was brought in with. There was a lot of fights, and he was pulled out, but he did have a cut from where he did beat one of the other boys up. He was causing fights in the group, and he had a bite that got infected, was under vet care, came out of vet care, and nobody has shown any interest in him at all. So, like, people have asked about him but not really inquired. And because that Pets at Home, I've noticed they tend to get a lot of really nice coloured guinea pigs, like, and really different hair variations compared to other Pets at Homes by me. And so his colours, even the one was like, they're quite boring compared to other colours we have. So then Finley was put up for adoption. He's been up for adoption now for 4 months. He's apparently 6 months old, but to be honest, Pets at Home does tend to get the pigs in at 5 to 8 weeks old. It just varies. I think he's slightly younger than 6 months, but yeah, no, so he's lived on his own since he was 8 weeks. And yeah, so currently the plan is I'm going to be bonding him with Mia and potentially Cruella. I'm not sure. They're the two I'm thinking of. And then when Fergus passes away, I'm going to be then bonding that group back together as a 5. And then as my other males start to pass away, more girls then will join in that herd to make one big herd. But at the moment, he's currently living next to them, and he goes next to everyone in the garden. For some reason in the garden, Tozy and Fergus's group tend to ignore him. So at the moment, he goes in the garden next to Archie's group because they pay him a bit of attention. But yeah, he is in that hormonal annoying phase that male guinea pigs go through. And like this morning, I made the mistake of clipping the girl's nails first before him. Like, for example, with Albert, Archie and Fergus, because they live with females, the smell of even the other girls from the other groups doesn't bother them, whereas him and Freddie and Teddy, it does kind of annoy them. But he is in that really annoying teenage phase where they're really hormonal, where their aggression levels are high. And yeah, so he bit my hand this morning and drew blood on me, which was absolutely lovely. But yes, that is Finley. Currently he's living in a 3x2 C&C next to the herd. But yeah, that is Finley Flops. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will be doing a neuter vlog. He's actually getting neutered this Friday, and then it is 6 weeks after his castration. Then he joins somebody. But yeah, so that is Mr. Finley.